There it is, the Tom Cruise run. We've become accustomed to seeing that over the years. In fact, he actually usually goes faster, doesn't he? This is no speed walking. This is no jogging. This is the sprint. And he's been doing so on impossible missions since 1996. The final mission sprints into theaters today. So there are some scenes from all of this. Now, Jackson Weaver, our film critic, is supposed to be here because I want to get his take on what is happening in this movie. That
Sorry.
was good. That was good.
Yeah, no, I'm in a Tom Cruise mood, I think.
Okay, you had it in everything. The little choppy stride, the arm pump. Everybody's doing this online. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I think I did it somewhat all right.
It was pretty good.
He has a very particular way of running.
He really does, and he has perfected it over all of these movies and then everything else he's ever done as well. But he's back as Ethan Hunt, and what's the storyline?
The storyline is it's almost Marvel-esque. You need to know all 8 of these movies to be on track to this one.
Well,
yes.
I know what I'm doing this weekend.
You have a marathon in front of you. But this is really incumbent upon the first version or the first installment of this story, Dead Reckoning Part 1. Follow-up is now Final Reckoning. There is an AI called the Entity. It is taking over all of the government's nuclear arsenals, and Ethan Hunt is the only one who can save us, as he is told by almost everyone he meets every 5 seconds. He needs to get this technical doohickey, plug it into this doomsday vault, and his team is the only people on Earth who can help him. It's a little more complicated than that. We're going to gloss over it a little bit, but what does matter is that we get some tie-ins from the third movie, we get tie-ins from the first movie, we get old characters, we get some new characters, but we get a gangbusters finale when it all does eventually come together.
So does that mean it really is the final installment?
That's an interesting question. We of course have a title that is The Final Reckoning. We have Ethan Hunt saying, I need you to trust me one last time. But we also have a confusing place to end it if it is where this does end. I mean, we do have some phenomenal new characters. It would be odd to not include moving forwards. The fantastic Tremel Tillman plays a Captain Bledsoe. We also get Canadian Lucy Toulagarjouk, a fantastic Inuk actress. You may know her from A Ten Jouet, The Fast Runner. She is phenomenal in this one. And I got to speak with Simon Pegg, who plays Benji Dunn in this franchise, and we were talking a little bit about actually the US tariffs that are coming into place, whether or not that would make it impossible for people like himself, he's an English person from comedy background, brought into this franchise that films around the world. And I was curious whether or not that might make it impossible for more of these movies to exist, for that international aspect to move forward. He kind of talked around it. He talked a little bit about Lucy Toulagarjouk. I wanted you to take a listen to what he said, though, about the future of the franchise.
Okay.
Right now, for me, it's just like all I can see is what we've just done. You know, this incredible globe-spanning movie with a wonderful cast, and certainly working with Lucy was an absolute joy. You know, she was such an incredible person. She introduced me to all this kind of indigenous music, and we were living on this ship in Svalbard. And in the evenings, we'd just sort of play cards, and Lucy would play us music and show us the work she does with the indigenous people there. And it was just so much fun, you know. I can't really see beyond this film at the moment.
So there's not a whole lot there in terms of whether there's going to be more movies. He did hint that this isn't necessarily the end.
Okay, I need to ask about the action.
Okay.
Because, I mean, Tom Cruise is 62.
Yeah.
And he is still stunt ready, for sure. I mean, it's pretty incredible. And this is a format for him to just show that off. The underwater scene, I've been hearing a lot about, the biplanes. So tell us about the action.
I mean, this is, he's almost a modern day Prometheus when he comes to this movie. I mean, he is kind of showing himself as the one who sacrifices himself to save the world, and the action is integral to that. We get this underwater scene that he apparently lost his vision because he was breathing his own carbon dioxide for so long. We have the hanging onto the outside of biplanes, kind of a throwback to earlier planes he's hung on the outside of. And again, I do say that this movie is a little bit exposition heavy, a little bit odd or oddly convoluted, but that action absolutely comes together, and this is an event film Like it always is.
Great to watch. Listen, okay.
Yeah.
Our graphics team is ready.
Okay.
Are you ready? Because I
I'm
want to
very
get your
ready.
rating. Here's Jackson's take.
Yes.
3.5.
3.5. I would put it 6 on the Mission Impossible rankings of the 8 movies, so it's not the best, but it is very solid, especially once we get to the ending, and hopefully this isn't the ending of the Mission Impossible world.
Okay, we will see. I give you 4 stars for the Tom Cruise run. Thank you for coming in. This interview will self-destruct in 30 seconds.
Oh, I should run away again. Thanks.